every business is trial and error, and you have to grow and lead with revenue.
And that's why it's not bad to fail.
It's not bad to fail.
You have to try. You got to, and if you really study all these self-made successes, they've all failed 3 or 4 or 5 times. Yeah. They've all had companies that have failed.
And you can fail because you start out too small, or you can fail because you start out too big.
From the grit and the grind to successful minds, live from the entertainment capital of the world, your hosts, Jillian Batchelor and Daryl Hanna.
What's up, you guys? It is Jillian Batchelor
And Daryl Hanna.
And we are here with Vegas Real Talk. And today, who's our special guest? It's us.
You're my special guest.
And I'm your special guest. You're my special guest. What's
snap.
up? So today we are talking about really what everybody wants to know. And a lot of people don't actually get down to the nitty and the gritty of it. And it's about building a business. And I don't care what kind of business that you're in. When you build a business, what are the wins? What do people see? What they don't see? What they need to know? What are the pitfalls, the mistakes? Nobody told me half of the things I should have known when I was building a business. I know you have built multiple successful businesses.
Yeah. And some that have failed.
And some that we have all failed, right? Yeah. If we don't fail, we really haven't done anything successful, I think.
Absolutely.
So let's jump right into it. I know a lot of people ask me all the time, Jillian, what brought you into real estate? Have you been in any other businesses? You know, now I have a group of ancillary businesses. We're doing all kinds of things, from flipping houses and an airplane business, an Amazon store. I have, everything that you guys can think of. I've done home staging. I've done designing for builders. I have done it all, right? A lot of it real estate related. And I'm diving into a new business. I don't even know if I'll even tell people about that yet. Maybe we'll get into that. But as a business owner and entrepreneur, you always want to go into building businesses. And Daryl, I know you've had a construction company. You had one of the largest masonry companies in Las Vegas with like 450, 500 employees, right?
Yeah.
That's quite impressive. And you were very, very young, right? You were in like your 20s.
Yeah, I was 22, I think, when we first started.
Wow.
21, yeah.
Yeah, and you built that to a very huge
landscape
company.
company before that.
Okay, real estate company, flipping. What else? What else have you done, sir?
Oh, we owned a nail salon.
Yes.
With my wife.
You had a nail salon? That was a great one. It was kind of a celebrity nail salon, you guys.
And then real estate, obviously, has been the big one.
So let's go right into it. Let's talk about building a business. Now, first off, obviously, you come up with an idea. You come up with a plan, something you're passionate about. It really needs to be something you're passionate about. A lot of where I see people fail is they get into a business because they think, oh, this one's going to be really lucrative, but they're not passionate about that business. You agree? That's a big failure, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the biggest way people fail is they fail to act.
Oh,
and they sit around wondering, what if? It's like the big what if. What if I don't do good? Or what if I'm not successful? Or what if, nobody comes and buys my product? Or what if, you can what if yourself to death.
You can what if yourself to death. And you also just don't have a plan. You don't have a strategy. Like if you went and opened a Starbucks today, you would have to come up with a business plan. You'd have the business plan. You'd have to look at the location, look at the traffic study, look at the foot traffic, look at the location, find out, what time of business you should be open. You already know the products you're going to sell. You come up with this whole business plan. You know what your cost should be on your product. And a lot of people don't look at it like that.
Yeah, there's a lot that goes into it.
And so let's talk.
But people sit around. I see people all the time just doing nothing but planning.
Yeah.
Planning a year, 2 years, and they've been planning, and they're just,
You're like,
I guess like the movie Fail to Launch.
Yes.
It is like that. To launch. Yeah.
So let's go into something not real estate related. Let's talk a little bit about your nail salon. That's a good one. I loved that one. So it was it Bond Nail Salon? Okay. Yeah, so tell me the good things.
Did really good.
Yeah. Tell me the best parts about it.
Well, the best parts about it was
that your beautiful wife was running it.
My wife.
Yeah.
She loved it. She put her heart and soul into it. It was really popular.
Yeah.
It did really well.
She had like magazine ads. She had like local celebrities coming by. She had beautiful furniture. It was decorated amazing. It was very
and she'd been doing nails 20 years before that. And she was the manicurist to the stars, and she had a big resume before that.
Go, Shauna, go, girl.
And Bond did really well. A lot of people were like, well, it went out of business. I mean, you sold it, so it couldn't have been doing that great.
But here's what people don't realize. Businesses, even in their prime, can go out of business. Or businesses in their prime, you should want to sell it.
Well, it was a business decision to shut it down because my space wasn't big enough.
Yeah.
You could work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It was only going to do so much.
Because it wasn't big enough.
And you could really, at the end of the day, it's trial and error.
Yeah.
I could have decided.
Who knew that you
could have
needed a bigger
decided
space?
to go out and rent a double, a twice as large space.
Yeah.
really
But then that could be a failure, because what if it's too big? What if you don't have enough
For sure.
people coming in right away? I mean, that's the thing with business. Every business is trial and error, and you have to grow and lead with revenue.
And that's why it's not bad to fail.
It's not bad
I
to
mean,
fail.
you have to try. You got to, and if you really study all these self-made successes, they've all failed 3 or 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
They've all had companies that have failed.
And you can fail because you start out too small, or you can fail because you start out too big. I mean, there's like that, you got to figure out like, where's that middle ground? And also you fail, but then you learn. You fail and you learn. And a lot of it right now, gosh, is staffing. I was on the phone with a business owner, a large business owner today, and she owns multiple businesses.
Well, it's one of the reasons why we didn't do bond.
Right, exactly.
It was because the staffing was just
nightmare.
really hard. It was
a nightmare. Yeah. And it is for everybody, especially right now in these times. And like I said, I was on the phone today with a business owner, somebody who's been in business 20 years. She has multiple locations, household name. You would know the company if I told you the name. And I was telling her I had and I've been a customer there, a loyal customer for 13 years. I was telling her I had a bad experience there, and she made it right. So I don't want to talk negatively about the business, but I was telling her I had a bad experience, and I would never normally reach out to the owner, but I knew this owner. And she was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry you had a bad experience. You've been coming for 13 years. I've never had a bad experience. And it all comes down to staffing. The staff just didn't follow through. They didn't do what they said they were going to do. They were supposed to make changes to our account. They didn't do changes to the account, to the membership. And I finally, after 2 or 3 months, I was going round and around. I was like, the manager wasn't calling me back. The GM was trying to help me. Finally went to the owner, and then the GM did help me. But it's staffing. We're all dealing with it right now.
Yeah. Your business is your employees.
It is. And they have to be passionate.
And when you find the right ones, you really got to make sure you take care of them.
Yeah, and keep them.
Because they're so hard to come across.
And because you're only as strong as your weakest link. That's what they always say. So let's talk about another business that you grew and developed and became great. Let's talk a little bit about your masonry business. Like, what were the pitfalls, and what were the great things that you learned out of the masonry business?
Wow. So Masonry Builders Nevada, with my partner Tim Shank. Yeah. What's up, buddy? If you're listening.
Shout out.
Yeah, it just started with a truck and a mixer, and that was it. And then we got a pump, and we got a few more trucks, and we added more guys. And before we knew it, within a year, I think we had grown to like 100 employees.
Wow.
Several trucks, mixers. We bought a forklift, and then we got another forklift, and then we ended up with. I mean, at the end of the day, we had 3 full-time mechanics running 24 hours a day, 3 8-hour shifts per day.
Yeah.
It was a big company. What I loved about it was, Tim basically ran the office. I ran the field.
Yeah. Which is great. Divide and conquer. It's how you and I run our real estate team right now.
Tim's amazing. He really was the one out getting the work, securing the builders. I think we were doing about 80 different tracks at one point in the valley.
That's amazing.
So, looking back, we have a picture of our entire company, and it's in my garage right now. Of the entire company, like all of our employees, all of our trucks, all of our forklifts, backhoes, everything was up at Red Rock Country Club, because we did Red Rock Country Club.
Amazing.
And we took a picture of our entire business on one of the lots up there, which I'm still proud of, which is like, I don't know, a $4 million house sitting on that lot right now.
Wow.
But I was really proud of that business, just because we really did build it from the ground up.
You should be, because you know what? People that don't realize how hard it is to build any business, then to build a profitable business, because a lot of businesses out there, you guys, do not have the profit margins that you think they do. You would be surprised when you pull back the numbers. I mean, I'll tell you this. I have a friend that owns 100 fast food restaurants, more than that. Every fast food restaurants, and these are big names. These are like McDonald's, Taco Bell, Del Tacos, things like that. And they honestly average about $100,000 net profit a year. You would think so. You have to own a lot of them. Some can get 150. Now, this is if you're not owning the land. This is the restaurant itself. Yeah. Between food costs, employees, insurance, bills, everything, you're looking at about $100,000 a location without owning the land. The land is actually where you get rich, right? But you have to own a lot of these to make money. So you see these businesses
they're not getting rich off of one location.
No, you see these businesses that are making $2, $3, $4 million a year. They're not bringing home that, you guys. They're not profit. I mean, I have friends that own every business, crane companies and demolition companies, real estate companies, construction companies, architects, every single thing you can think of. It's hard to make a profit.
It is. And let's talk about, at the end of the day, why did Masonry Builders not last?
Why did it not last?
And so that's really the biggest, what I learned from that business was we didn't own anything. Everything was financed. It was financed growth.
Yep. Which a lot of people have to do in the beginning.
And we exploded so fast. Yeah. I mean, it was really the only way.
Yeah,
we had to go finance the backhoes and the forklifts and everything. And at the end of the day, when times got tough, we got stuck on a few jobs and they didn't pay us.
Yeah. Because the market was changing
it was
at
over.
the time.
Yeah. It really ate our lunch, and we learned a big lesson. And really that lesson was how to say no.
Wow.
We were young and saying yes to everything.
And you want to grow fast. You want to be successful.
did.
So everybody wants to say
it's a
yes.
big payday, and you're, at the end of the day.
Oh, it's a $2 million
looking
job.
back,
It's a $5 million job. It's a $10 million job.
We should
I
have
got to
said
take
no
it.
to half of the jobs.
Yeah.
And grew a little bit slower, paid off all of our stuff as we went along. And then when hard times hit, if you own everything, I've got another one of my really good friends that came from that company, Thor Stewart, who owns a big successful masonry company now called Keystone Masonry. There's a plug for you, buddy. Mm-hmm. He grew right. He grew slow.
Yeah.
Paid off everything as he went. Now he owns everything. He owns his trucks. He owns his scaffold. He owns his building. He owns everything. He literally could shut down for 3 months and his business would stay open.
Fun because he owns everything.
Yeah, and that's really the way to go to build your business.
And I think that a lot of people, because you have to have some finance growth, you have to have some loans in the beginning. But as like you said, once you're leading with revenue, start paying things off. Really, that's a big pitfall that people get into.
Invest in your company.
Another, so there you go. Number 2. Another one is a lot of people don't reinvest into their company. Yeah. They're so dying for those profits because look, when every business gets started, it's in the red. No business starts in day one. They're black. They're profitable because where'd all your costs go from?
It takes years sometimes to get
Yeah, and so people a lot of times are starving because they were in the red for so long. They're like, wait, cash is coming in. I need that money. They don't reinvest into their business. So that's another big pitfall. Another one would be, let's use the 3-letter word that everyone hates. At least I know I hate them. I get that there's a reason for them, you guys. I get that they have to be in business. I get it. But the IRS.
They almost put masonry builders out of business.
And they've almost put
we put ourselves out of business. They didn't put us out of business, but when you don't do what you're supposed to do with those guys, I think it's the only thing my mom ever taught me about money was don't mess with the IRS.
And then guess what? We all mess with the IRS.
We all mess with them. We all get burned.
So here's the funniest thing is that's the one thing I always said when I was going into business. I always said there's 2 people that get paid before I do. 2 people always, any business I've ever been in, the IRS and the business. I reinvest back into the business and I pay the IRS. Now, there's been times, you guys, I'm going to tell you, and I've owned a plethora of businesses, multiple businesses. There's been times they've gotten paid and I haven't. And I didn't get a paycheck, and I'm the business owner.
Yeah, that's the hard part. Yeah. When you're sitting there and you got to send off $100,000 to the IRS, and you don't have any money,
$100,000 in payroll or something.
You don't have any money, and you got Christmas coming up, and you're like, oh God, do I send this to the IRS or do I keep it?
And that's where people get in hard pinches. So if we can teach you guys anything, and we're friends with multiple hundreds, thousands of business owners, make sure that your books are clean. Make sure you're paying the IRS. Make sure you're reinvesting into your business. IRS. And make sure you're living small while that business is growing.
So I think the third thing should be.
Okay, tell us.
It might have been, I don't know.
Might have been number 1.
It could have been number 1. Is save your money.
Save for a rainy day.
You gotta save. You have to have money, not only just for if things go wrong, but if you want to invest in something.
Yeah.
If an opportunity comes along.
Oh, there is the word, you guys, opportunity. If an opportunity comes along, because that's, if in 2009 to 2012, when the real estate market was crashing, you could get these little cookie cutter homes for $50,000 that then went up to $350,000. Granted, it took 10 years, but still, if I could have bought 10, if I would have had $500,000 liquid that I wasn't afraid to spend, I had
$50,000 condos.
They had those little crackerback 1,200 square foot houses like the Astoria homes that now are $350,000.
Now $300,000-$400,000.
If I could have bought 10 of those, if I would have just deployed $500,000 and I had some money, I was just afraid to get rid of it. I was so scared to give all that money up because nobody knew the world was crashing. If I would have taken $500,000, bought 10 of those homes, my $500,000 then would have turned into $3, $4, $5 million. You guys, it would have changed my life.
But you know what they say, right?
Scared money don't make money.
You got to spend them. You have to be willing to spend the money when everyone's scared.
Yes.
And back then you think, why didn't I do that? Why didn't I? But it's like back then we didn't. I really thought the world was going to come to an. I was stockpiling water up at our cabin in Utah.
Wait. Doesn't that sound like 2020, like COVID again? I feel like we lived that again. Yeah. So that's another one. You guys save for a rainy day. I will tell you, my religion is really big on that. They say, you tithe, you save, and then you get paid and all of that. So really big, you guys, if we can go over the pitfalls again, pay the IRS, invest in your business,
pay yourself,
save your money, pay yourself, but pay yourself last. Make sure you're living small until you can get to lead with revenue. That's another big one is that, because Daryl touched on that when he said, that they finance a lot of their business. You have to lead with revenue. And I know a lot of business owners, they see the vision, they have the vision, and they're like, no, I see what I need to do. I need to invest in my business. A great friend of mine, a mortgage lender, he invests a lot into his company to make it big. But then I'm like, you got to lead with revenue. And so it just depends. There's not necessarily a wrong or right, but I can tell you when you get yourself into these pitfalls is when you aren't doing the things that you need to do. And Now let's talk. So I'll give an example of a business that I was in, right? So we had flipped homes. My ex-husband and I have flipped a lot of homes over the years. And then, we built homes and did all these things that we were doing. And one of the biggest pitfalls we were seeing is like, we were definitely projecting to where the market was going to go. We were looking forward to where the market was going to go. But we didn't expect the turns and the twists in Vegas and in the California market as quickly as they happen. Like right now we're in one of the turns and twists in the Las Vegas real estate market where 90 days ago, we were in a completely different real estate market than we are in today, you guys. We're in a completely different real estate market. And so that market was, you could buy a home and you'd be paying $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 above asking. You didn't have to do any repairs to the home. Buyers were lining up. They were just grateful to get a home. Flip the switch. Literally, it was like overnight, right, Daryl?
Yeah.
It was like overnight. The switch got flipped, and now it's like homes are sitting on the market an average of 63 days. I think it was this morning. 10,000 homes on the market. 25% of homes are having a price reduction every single week, and we're listing about 2,500 homes every single week as well. So real estate market is changing. So when you're flipping, it's another business that I'm in, it is really imperative that you can foresee what's happening in that real estate market. And sometimes you can't. Nobody knew the feds were going to raise the rates as quickly as they did. We knew rates were coming.
Yeah.
But we didn't know. And so aggressively. I mean, it was one business day, they went up a whole point.
Yeah.
And that was
which kind of goes back into, when you're a business owner, you really have to, because I've bought flips. We owned a investment company too, buying flips, and this was prior to 2008, which I got caught
before the first crash.
Yeah, but the good thing with us is even back then, it would be the same today. I always make sure, hey, if I got to drop my price 20%, I'm still going to make money or at least break even.
Yeah.
There's so many flippers
so you're
out there
building in that extra margin.
I am building it in. Yeah, because you never know.
You have to.
You never know. What if you have to drop the price? And there's so many flippers out there that are like, they have to sell at that list price to make money. If they drop it, it just eats into their profit.
See, and you see that right now. I can think of a flipper right now that has a house on the market, a beautiful house on the market, and it's been on the market, I'd say probably close to 120, 130 days. And he stated his price for the last few months because he doesn't have that margin to really come down much more. So he's thinking, if I got to negotiate any little bit of room.
It hurts as a flipper when your list price, right as it is right now, you're at break even. Mm-hmm. So every time you drop the price, $20,000,
you have carrying costs.
That's $20,000 out of your pocket, and the carrying costs.
Yeah, every single month you have these carrying costs that are coming out.
It's scary.
And sometimes you have heavy interest, depending if you have investors that are going in there, and if you're staging the house, you have staging costs, you have utility costs, you have tax bills, you have HOA bills, you might have sewer, SIDS, lids,
or interest if you borrowed the money.
Yeah. So that's another business. We can talk a little bit about real estate teams, and I'm partnering in an airplane business, an Amazon store business. So really it's about diversifying the businesses that you're in, because generally if one goes down, like e-commerce isn't generally going to go down if real estate's going down, or stocks generally don't go down when real estate goes down. Of course, there's always caveats to this, right? But the food industry, the restaurant business typically doesn't go down when stocks are going down. So you want to diversify where you're going to go, because that's a good way to hedge your bets and make sure that you're okay.
Of income. Yeah.
Because like during COVID, Amazon, as an example, became even more popular than ever. Grocery deliveries became even more popular than ever. Instacart became more popular than ever. The restaurant business was not hurting. It's funny because I have a girlfriend who her husband is a general manager of Cheesecake Factory, and he said they actually made more money during COVID when the restaurants were closed with doing carry out and like delivery and takeout.
Let's. I just want to alter that a little bit, because there's a lot of restaurants that went out of business.
Yeah,
but that's because they failed to change.
They did, and this restaurant pivoted.
But there's another lesson for business.
You must pivot.
You got to be willing to change.
Now, I will tell you, all their servers were suffering because you weren't serving. Yeah. Right. So their restaurant staff was suffering, but yet the restaurant was making more money.
The restaurants that pivoted were doing better because they didn't have a lot of overhead.
Yeah, they didn't have a lot of overhead.
People were just driving up, and they had one person running food outside and a cook. That's it.
Yep, exactly. So that's a big thing. Pivot. When businesses change, and every business is going to change, you guys, I'm telling you, even in the real estate business, I have gone from when it was regular buyers and regular sellers to when it was a full investor market to when it was a complete short sale market. So then it was an REO market. Then we went back to investors. Then we saw hedge funds picking up everything. Yep. Then we saw people trying to, FHA, VA buyers, regular people trying to buy houses. Then we're back to like a buyer's market, and a seller's market, and a buyer's market, and a seller's market. And like, where are you at? So you have to pivot. Mm-hmm. That's one thing. Our flipping business, we have to pivot. We used to flip standard cookie cutter homes. Then we did luxury homes. Then, the Amazon stores, you're pivoting what you're selling all the time. What's the most popular product out there that you're going to be selling? All the different businesses. I want to do a matchmaking business next.
Changes. Ooh,
yeah, matchmaking. Yeah. I want to, because you know what doesn't change?
Pretty good with matchmaking.
I am. I got a bunch of marriages under my belt. Not me, guys, but I have connected a lot of folks. And they have gotten married. I have folks that have had kids. Right now, I got a lot of boyfriend and girlfriend sets out there that I've connected because I know a lot of people. So I might be your new luxury matchmaker, you guys. Because what doesn't go out of business? Love.
No.
Love doesn't. Everyone wants love.
Always gotta make
good market, bad market. People want love. So we're talking. You guys. Hey, new businesses are on the horizon. I actually have a whole business plan. So this is not even a joke. I have a whole business plan to become this matchmaker.
Wow.
I already know the fees that we would charge. I really want to do it.
Damn.
Look at how many people I know. Yeah. And then we're going to do like luxury matchmaking in Las Vegas. So hey, if you're out there, if you're a single
luxury matchmaking.
Yeah, because this is going to be a love match. This is not Tinder, you guys. You're not looking for a hookup. There's no hookup on. There's going to be a rule, actually, no hookups until at least the third date.
Luxury.
Yeah, and
what? Tell me.
Because you want a luxury life, and I'm not talking about money.
What qualifies as a luxury hookup
you're actually
versus like a regular hookup?
Because you're not looking for a hookup. That's
a
the
low
difference.
price hookup.
No, that's Tinder. Okay, what we're talking about here.
Tinder's low price.
Yes.
You're luxury.
Well, because the difference is you want a relationship here. You're actually looking to date for intention.
You're like Ashley Madison.
Yes.
Hookup.
No. That's a hookup.
Okay.
No, this is actually, you guys, you want a future. Are you looking for a wife? Are you looking for a husband? Are you looking for a committed relationship, a serious relationship? Or are you just looking for a hookup? A hookup, I'll get you on
luxury.
Tinder.
Gotcha.
If you want luxury means you want to upgrade your lifestyle. You want an actual partner. You want someone who's going to live life with you, want to experience things, travel, what you guys have common things in common, not just no hookup on Jillian. A rule, you guys, no hookup until the third date, okay? There's going to be a rule. I'm going to be there with you on the date to make sure it doesn't happen.
Dating rule.
Yes. In Jillian's world, you guys.
I don't know if you're going to be able to do that.
And we're doing it. You guys watch me.
There's going to be some rules being broken.
There are going to be some rules being broken. Okay, so we have a fun set of decks. We're going to change it up here a little bit.
It's called the interview deck.
So we're changing it up. We're going to do something fun. So you're going to pick two cards. You're going to ask me two questions.
Completely random.
Completely random.
So you're just going to answer the first one that's on the top of this thing.
Oh, I'm scared, you guys. Yes, I'm going to answer the first question that comes out. I have to answer it. All right, so give it to me. And then I'm going to pull two. You're going to pull two for me. I'm going to pull two for you. And then we're going to do one we're both going to answer.
What's something you don't mind paying more money for?
Oh, okay. This is a good one. So I knew we were talking about luxury dating, and you guys, and there's certain things I definitely don't mind spending my money on, and there's certain things I'm cheap on. But I'll tell you, the number one thing, any entrepreneur, because that's what this show was about today, is about entrepreneurs. The number one thing we want to do when we start making money is buying our time back.
Ooh,
so whatever
that's
it
a good
takes.
Answer.
If I'm talking leverage. If I'm going to pay someone to clean my house, I'm going to pay someone to be my personal assistant. I'm going to pay someone to wash my cars. I'm going to pay someone to groom my dogs. I'm going to pay someone to do my grocery shopping or have groceries delivered to my house. I want to buy my time back because now my time is valuable. I want to spend it with my kids. I want to spend it with my significant other. I want to spend it doing the things I want to do. So I don't mind spending more money to buy my time back.
So I did Tom Ferry elite coaching.
Okay.
And Justin Baker, my coach.
Yeah. Shout out.
He did a month-long tracking of my activities for 30 days.
Yep.
And then we tracked how much money I brought in that 30 days.
Yep.
And we figured out what I was worth per hour.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
And I say it's priceless, you guys. That's my partner.
I was like, I don't know, $500 something an hour.
Like a high price attorney.
And that was a while ago. I mean, that was 6 years ago.
You guys, now he's $1,000 an hour.
Yeah, now it's $1,000. But the moral of the story is my coach said, okay, now if you're sitting down writing, a report or doing a little addendum that you could have somebody that makes 19 an hour, 20 an hour do, then
leverage it.
You should be leveraging that out.
Unless you enjoy it. Like
for sure.
I don't enjoy scrubbing bathtubs. So I don't want to scrub my bathtubs. No, but I do enjoy cooking. I would love to make a meal for you. So I don't need a private chef, but I would love to have a housekeeper.
Okay.
Okay, what else you got for me, buddy? What's number two?
Number two. What's your kryptonite?
Ooh, my kryptonite. You guys, I love sugar. I eat sugar every single day.
Attest to that.
Yeah, I love sugar. I have friends that will buy me all kinds of candy. People do candy bars. For my 40th birthday, they did a huge candy bar, right? So not even alcohol. We're doing candy.
But really, is that your kryptonite?
Sugar's going to kill me because that's a food group. And it helps me gain weight.
Okay.
And sugar's worse for you than crack cocaine, you guys. Okay, so I mean, maybe I should go with that. But sugar is my kryptonite. All right, let me pull two for you. You ready?
Sure. Okay.
What book do you think should be mandatory for everyone on the planet to read? Wait, hold on. I really like this one for you because you're actually an avid reader. And most multimillionaires, you guys, are avid readers. And a lot of them read self-help books or helping their businesses grow. And so you're actually brilliant at this. This is a perfect card for you.
Yeah, it is. I know what
partner,
it is.
What book?
It's Gary V. Jab, jab, right hook.
Right hook. All right. Jab, jab, jab,
It's
right hook,
an amazing book.
And how's that helped you? How did it change your life?
It just changed the way that I viewed all my marketing, all my social media marketing, my videos, everything changed after reading that book. And it really that book teaches you how to really just start giving everything away.
Yeah.
Where before I'd like really kind of covet and protect my secrets and I wouldn't share. And he teaches you need to give it all away.
Share. And you're now more successful than ever.
Share as much as you can and it'll come back to you. And really that's the jab, jab, jab.
And then the right hook.
That's giving it away.
Yep.
The jabs. So if you know anything about boxing, jab, jab, jab. And then the right hook is every once in a while you add in there asking for the business.
For sure.
But most of what you do on social media should be really giving information away. And that was a big turning point in my business. So
yeah,
I think everybody should read that.
I'm going to throw a book in there really quick, you guys. Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Love that book. I know everyone's read it. Great. Also, girl, wash your face. If you're a woman out there and you think of all the pressures in the world of I have to be all things, I have to be a great wife, and I have to be fit, and I have to be a great mother, and a great cook, and I have to clean my house, and I have to be a business owner, and an entrepreneur, and I have to be a great friend, and a great sister, and a great daughter, and all these things. Girl, Wash Your Face by Rachel Hollis.
You did 2 books, so I'll do another book.
Okay. It's a really good one. Women out there, read it. Okay, what's the second book?
Who Moved My Cheese?
Oh, that is a good one.
It's a real simple book to read. Like you read it in one day.
Yeah.
But it's amazing. And it goes along with what we're talking about.
You guys,
business.
Those are the books for you guys. All right. So question number 2 for Daryl Hanna is, if you could be the personal assistant to anyone, who would it be?
Ooh.
Say Shauna. Say Shauna. Save your marriage. Say Shauna. That's his wife, you guys.
Well, of course. But I already am that.
Okay, got it. So somebody else.
I would say, I'm having a hard time even, God, they call him the snowball, the oracle of Omaha. The investor. God dang it. I can't believe I can't remember his name.
Okay. But he's the oracle.
Yeah, the
investor
oracle.
of Omaha.
The investor of Omaha.
Tell me why.
What's his name? That one of the richest guys. Oh, Warren Buffett.
Oh, yeah. Warren Buffett. Okay.
I would love to be Warren Buffett's assistant for one day.
So you could just learn from him.
Just listen to that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. His insight. I mean, I love reading his books and reading his interviews and watching his videos and stuff. But
and I mean, you guys, who doesn't love Warren Buffett? Let's be honest.
Warren
That's
Buffett's
great.
Pretty smart guy.
All right. So now we're going to pull one and we're both going to answer this one. Are you ready?
Yep.
What is something in life you really have an appreciation for that most people don't? Ooh. Oh, Daryl, okay, you go first. What's something in life you have an appreciation for that most people don't?
In 50 years, I would have to say I have an appreciation for saving money.
Oh, that is a really good one.
And a lot of people don't do that.
You're
and
right.
If you could just take me back to when I was 20 years old and say you could change one thing, I would save more money. Save your money.
I love that one. Okay, so something I have an appreciation for that most people don't. Some of you may or may not know out there, but I was a widow at 22 years old, and it happened overnight. Obviously, things like that you don't expect to happen. And I would say I have an appreciation for verbally expressing to people how I feel. Okay. And sometimes that can come on.
Inside.
Yep, not keeping it inside. Sometimes that can come out very intense. Sometimes people can feel like, oh, I'm really like word vomiting on you and telling you how much I love you. But and my verbal expression is very intense at times, but it's because I always say no words left unsaid, kind of like the military, no man left behind, but no words left unsaid. I never want anyone to go away from me. You never know what's going to happen. Someone can get hit by a bus. I can get hit by a bus. I never want someone to leave me and be unsure if I loved them, if I liked them, if I appreciated them, if I adored them, if I admired them. So I am very verbally expressive.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I love it. All right, partner. So this was a really good podcast. I feel like I loved it. It was just the two of us. Hopefully you guys took away a few little nuggets of growth here, self-growth, business growth.
Yeah, and if you have any questions, you guys can always message us and
reach out. We
comment under the video or whatever.
I will say I've learned a lot from you. One of the things you definitely taught me, and in any business, you guys, this isn't just real estate.
I'm also 50 years older than you, so I've got
50 years older than me. But tracking, that was a big one I learned from you. I learned from you tracking, and that's good.
I'm still trying to even get better at that myself.
Tracking was a big one I learned from Daryl. You have to know your numbers, you guys. It doesn't matter, again, what business you're in. You have to know, if you're in a coffee business, what does it cost you? If you ever watch Shark Tank, they always say, what is your cost of goods? Doesn't care what your good is. What's your cost of goods? In our case, what's your cost of time? How much time are you putting into your energy, into your clients, all of these things?
Yeah.
So something I really learned. What's something you learned from being my partner, Daryl, Hanna?
Oh my God, so much. My biggest thing is how to delegate.
How to delegate.
I sit and listen.
Leverage,
It's amazing. I mean, I just don't know how you.
Because again, you guys, we are buying our time back. That's what one of these cards said. We're definitely buying our time back. So when you leverage.
So funny story.
Okay.
When we first became partners.
Best day of your life next to having your son and marrying your wife.
We were at Realty One Group in a small, our office was half the size of this room.
Yeah, probably 8 by 8 or 8 by 10 or something.
Yeah, maybe even, I don't know, 9 by 10.
Yeah.
And I was used to sitting in a big, like 20 by 20 office.
Where he was the king.
And I was like, I don't know, man, that's pretty, I just can't imagine sitting in the same room with someone else. And not even you, just anybody.
Yeah.
But I'm like, you know what? I'm going to give it a try because here's this successful woman who's just amazing. Like, hopefully I'll learn. I have to learn something.
Yeah.
So I did it. I was open to it. I really was against it.
Yeah.
But sitting in the same office with you, I've learned that by far the delegation part is just, I mean, if anybody wonders how you get so much done
in a day,
it's just because you don't try to do it all yourself.
For real.
And there's a lot of people out there try to do everything themselves. And there's only so much you can do in a day. We all have the same amount of hours.
We all do. That's a great
It's not
equalizer.
like you have 48 hours and I have 24. Like we both have 24 hours.
Yeah, it's a great equalizer for sure.
Yeah, and that's another big thing in business.
Yeah.
I think we talked a little bit about it, but delegating and even the smaller stuff, right? Just like dry cleaning or running and doing stuff. If you do that yourself and you're a realtor and you're worth $500 or $600 an hour, you're really wasting your money.
Well, and honestly, and it's your time. At the end of the day, the time is what we have. So if you're spending your time dropping things off at the dry cleaner or spending your time, I don't enjoy those things. And so I would rather be either prospecting into my business, cooking for my family,
spending time with the family,
spending time with my kids, maybe even watching a TV show. It's a way I unwind, maybe reading a book, maybe processing my taxes or looking for other investment strategies. Those are things that I enjoy. So it's really about getting that time back, and the leverage is important. And I think, again, as women, I'll touch on this again, this is not to be sexist, but as women, we get told we have to be superwoman. We have to do all things. I am not superwoman, you guys, and you don't have to be the king.
You're kind of superwoman.
But you don't have to be the king. And what I mean by that is that it's okay for us to leverage. It's okay for us to say, I need help. It's okay for me to say, I have a nanny. I have a housekeeper. I have a car wash company. I have a groomer. For sure. If you were sick, you'd go to the doctor. It's okay to leverage. It's okay to ask for help because that's how you become the best at the things you want to do.
Even like with me, there's no way I could even do half the stuff I do without my wife.
Your wife, yeah.
And some people are always like, I've had a few people like, is your wife ever going to go back to work? Like, because she raised our son. Yeah. And I'm like, well, she has a job.
Well, and what she does at home is so valuable. It allows you to be you.
It is. Look at all the stuff that she does.
And you couldn't put a price tag on it.
Well, if I had to hire somebody to do all that stuff, probably it'd be $100,000 or more a year. Yeah. I mean, it really would.
You can't put a price tag on it.
You can't. And so that's just one part of the leverage, right?
Yeah.
And so, like you said, you got somebody that does, takes your dry cleaning, that goes and picks your lock boxes up, that goes and, we have showing agents that go and run around. I can spend half a day showing property. Mm-hmm. Someone else can go open the doors up. Yeah. Just stuff like that. So
you guys, hopefully you heard this, everything here on Vegas Real Talk. Hopefully you've got some good news, got some good tidbits. We can't wait to see what our next episode is going to be amazing. Again, I'm Jillian Batchelor.
Daryl Hanna.
He's my favorite business partner you guys ever, and I have a few, so he's my favorite. Thanks again. We'll see you next week, guys. Bye.